All right, guys, so now we are going to take a look at a student-made public service announcement. This is the public service announcement about mental health at Nazarbayev University. So what I really want you to focus on here is sort of how it was designed, how it was put together. I do know that there's a lot of original footage in this specific public service announcement, but I still want to show it to you because they do other things very well that could give you some other ideas of how you can put this together sitting in your bedroom during quarantine. Um, I also want to show it to you just to kind of give you some inspiration by looking at what can be made by our students, right? And what you could possibly do as well. Our student made public service announcements are typically better than that Sarah McLaughlin one that I just analyzed with you guys. So let's watch it through one time, and then I'll stop it at a couple different places just so you can get some ideas.
I sleep most of the time.
I have constant panic attacks.
I've just gotten out of toxic relationship.
I was bullied in school.
I grew up in domestic abuse environment.
I've been suffering from depression for 2 years.
I'm a victim of sexual assault.
I attempted committing suicide.
Based on a recent survey of 100 Nazarbayev University students, 87% of students feel the need for psychological help. 95% of them face the lack of available slots. And finally, 2/3 of those who visit psychologists remained unsatisfied. That actually you see these people every day, but you don't notice them and their internal scream. Fortunately, there is a solution: peer counseling. It is common practice in foreign universities. Usually refers to students helping their fellow students. Peer counselors have to go through a training program for peer support, in which they develop skills and techniques for problem solving and peer mediating. They need your help right now. Their lives are in your hands.
Obviously, I'm not expecting you guys to create something like this, mainly because there's a lot of people in this video. And you may have noticed at the end there, they're all touching hands. And so these are things that we're not supposed to be doing completely, right? We're not supposed to be touching other people, and we're not supposed to be around this many other people. So yes, they had a lot of great things in this PSA. Amazing acting, right? First and foremost, it wouldn't have been the same without the actors, right? Amazing camera work, probably high quality camera, amazing post-production editing of sound effects and transitions between videos and things like that, right? They had a lot of amazing things in here, but I show you this video, one, for inspiration, just to say like, wow, our students are pretty amazing. But the other thing is to show you some other ideas that you can use to incorporate into your own PSA, since we're stuck in quarantine, right? So the first thing we see are the people,
I sleep most of the time.
I have constant panic.
and obviously we shouldn't be doing this because we shouldn't be around this many people. We should be in our rooms by ourselves. But this is more of what I wanted to show you over here.
Based on a recent survey of 100 Nazarbayev University students, 87% of students feel the need for psychological help.
So here is something that you should probably be doing. Like, how do you visually represent your research, right? This is something that we have worked on in our infographic, is how to visually represent data. So now you're going to want to use those skills within your PSA. Maybe you need to make an infographic. Maybe you just need to present it in this sort of easy to understand way of icons of human beings, checklist as an icon, and then writing out your text to fill up the rest of the space. If you notice, this is the atrium in the background, but it's just sort of stock footage of somebody filming in the atrium, right? I'm pretty sure you can find this on the NU website. And so they just blurred it out. You don't even need that. This could have been on a white background. This could have been on a black background with white icons, whatever you want to do, right? With some text being written out. One thing you may wonder is, where is their academic research? This is the first time that I'm requiring 3 academic sources for this assignment, because it is the final assignment and because it's not focused on Nazarbayev University, right? So it's a bit difficult to find 3 academic sources focused on a problem at Nazarbayev University. So instead, what they did is they took their own survey, or they created their own survey and gave it out to a lot of different people, either on VK or on, I think they created a Survey Monkey, so maybe through email, whatever it might be, right? So think about this, that a survey or an interview could also be considered an academic source, right? It's not just database articles that could be academic sources. Think about what you need, and if we still have access to the internet, and you still have access to VK or the Atrium, the Vatreami in VK, or Facebook, or whatever it is, right? Maybe you want to put these questions out there. Maybe you want to take a survey that you need from the students, right? Or maybe it has nothing to do with your topic, so that's not going to be, that's pointless, right? But think about it. This is a way to present your research, right?
95% of them face a lack of available slots.
Visually representing it, 95% turned to red, only 5% is left in black.
And finally, 2/3 of those who visit psychologists remained unsatisfied.
Right, so showing it as a graph, right? 2/3, 67% to visually represent the data, right? The problem solution advocacy in this video is pretty easy to figure out. Problems, students have health issues and psychologists aren't available. There's not enough slots for students to visit the psychologist. Solution, become a peer tutor, or peer tutoring is the solution. Peer counseling, whatever they call it, not peer tutoring. Peer counseling is the solution to this. The way that you can get involved with the NU Counseling Center, become a peer tutor, right? The one sort of, not complaint, but I think fault in this public service announcement is the advocacy, which is not very strong, which comes at the end, but everything else is quite strong, and they're using research to support their ideas, to support the problem. Right here, right? There's research and logos to support the problem with evidence. They use it in the solution as well by showing what other universities are doing and how this helps other universities. Right? So that's supporting it. So it's not 3 academic sources, because I'm not requiring them to have 3 academic sources. I wasn't requiring them to have 3 academic sources, but you can be doing the same things. What else do I want to show you? So then we have this sort of, just sort of editing, right? Whoops, watch a little bit. Editing with sound effects.
That actually, you see these people every day, but you don't notice them and their internal screen.
Right, so there we just have black background, text on the screen, and a voiceover. All things you can do from your bedroom. Then we have all these amazing scenes. I'm going to skip over them because it's something you can't do. With the great acting, and then it goes back into this, some things that you could include for your public service announcement. A screen capture, like I'm doing now, right? This would be great if you're searching for things and showing the research available.
Peer counseling. It is common practice in foreign universities. Usually refers to students helping their fellow.
Yeah, so you get the point. And what else did they do that you can do? Don't do this. Don't touch other people right now. That's dangerous. This is the worst part of it at this point in the context of coronavirus. That's the worst. Here they present their advocacy, become a peer counselor. It's very vague. It doesn't say how to become a peer counselor. It doesn't say, like, sort of give you a little bit more details about it. It just says become one. So that would be my one sort of fault in this. They give you some places to reach out to, and they say you can make a difference, but still it could have been a little bit stronger in the advocacy. But everything else is very strong. So this is a very good example of a PSA. And if you notice, I have to say it again, there is a credits page, right? And if you notice, this is the music that they looked up, right? Remember that we have these open source music resources that I gave you. And so if you need music to create an emotion, to create pathos, just search for something like this, sad emotional piano music, right? It's free, you can use it. Down here, you'll see that they do include their sources, right? Harvard, Drexel, and UHS, which could be considered probably academic sources because they all do the peer counseling, which is where they're getting their information from. And then they provide their survey, right? The survey titled Mental Health on Campus was conducted by them on surveymonkey.com on these dates, right? This needs to be in your credits page. This is where you could be accused of plagiarizing, right? Don't get accused of plagiarizing. Don't get a 0 on your final project. It's that easy. Create a credits page, show your academic sources. If you somehow have actors, you probably shouldn't, but if you somehow have actors, give them credit. Otherwise, put yourself as a director, as a producer, as an editor, as a filmer, whatever it is, right? Interviewer, whatever these things are, give yourself some sort of credit. That's basically what I wanted to show you for this one. If you look at the other ones, these two, so all three of these are very different from each other, and I did it on purpose. This one, it makes a great use of original footage with some other ideas that you could use for post-production. This one is completely post-production, right? This is all editing. I think they maybe took one picture of the laundry door being closed, and I think that's all that's in there. Everything else is completely from the internet. And then this one is a sort of mix of a lot of stock footage, right? They didn't create original footage, but they found footage of Nazarbayev University students doing stuff, and that's all they really needed, right? The rest they took from other stock footage from other countries of people doing their laundry and, you know, a washing machine going around in circles and just following somebody with a cart while they're folding their laundry, things like that. So that's a lot of stock footage, no original footage, stock footage, and, you know, still images and things like that that they just found online with some editing techniques as well. So watch all three of these. This top one up here was not my student. It's still a good example of a PSA, but it's all done on campus and all original footage for the most part, not a lot. I mean, there are some other parts, but I don't know so much about that one, but these last three were my students. And so I know what they were doing and how they did it and why they put it together. So hopefully that helped you. Hopefully that answered some of your public service announcement questions.